The apocalypse arrived. I am the true heiress to a multi-billion-dollar But in my past life, I was tricked onto a deserted island by the fake heiress. Reborn. I'm now hoarding supplies on that building high walls, but the zombie outbreak has started early. Xiaoli, how about we go on vacation to a deserted island? I've been reborn. Before me is my nominal sister Lin Zihan. On this day in my previous life, my parents had just brought me the long-lost true heiress. Back home, the fake heiress Lin Zihan used these exact words to trick me onto a deserted island. 3 days later, the apocalypse began. I was trapped on that island and left to die. Meanwhile, she stayed safely in our luxurious mansion, continuing to enjoy everything that should have been mine. This time I took the initiative and held her hand. That's a wonderful idea, sister. This is the first time I've ever gone on a trip with a sister. A flash of triumph appeared in Lin Zihan's eyes. Then let's both prepare some things. And have a good time for a few days. I feigned difficulty. But, sister, I don't have any money to prepare. Will it be too much of an expense for you? She immediately took out a bank card and gave it to me. The password is 68 South. Xiaoli, please don't hesitate. You can buy whatever you want. Seeing how desperate she was to get rid of me, I sneered inwardly. I'm in a hurry too. Before the apocalypse begins, I must prepare enough survival supplies. I made a long list. Building materials, all kinds of food, freezers, generators, solar panels, knives and armor. I also downloaded a lot of TV shows. What if I have to stay on the island for a long time? These will be my only entertainment. After doing all this, I called my childhood friend and boyfriend, Ling Chen. Aiken, I don't have time to explain. Follow the list I sent you. Get the supplies, and come to the island immediately to meet. 5 days later, Lin Zihan personally brought me to the island. Sister, this place is so beautiful. It's perfect for a vacation. I pretended to be excited. Sure enough, Lin Zihan took my arm. If you like it, little sister, we can come here often. After the apocalypse, this place will indeed be my safe fortress. As for you, Lin Zihan, I'm afraid you won't have the good fortune to come here often. I arrived at the island's wooden vacation cabin. Just as I put my luggage down, I heard the roar of a helicopter. It must be here to pick her up. Good, hurry up and leave. Once you're gone, I can start building my shelter. Wait, the helicopter is flying unsteadily. Something isn't right. After it landed, the cabin door remained closed. Lin Zihan pounded on the door. What are you waiting for? Open the door. Her answer was a filthy face, slamming hard against the inside of the window. The eyes on that face had turned white. The skin was rotting, and a low growl came from its throat. A zombie. The apocalypse has started early. The cabin door was rammed open a crack. A rotten arm reached out first. Then the entire zombie twisted its way out. My whole body tensed. A weapon? I need a weapon. We're finally safe. After cleaning up the mess, Lin Zihan finally came to her senses. I asked her directly, what was the deal with that helicopter? Why did it arrive early? It took her a while to respond. Looking at the smoking wreckage of the helicopter in the distance, she suppressed her disgust and told the truth. It turns out she had a satellite phone to contact the outside world. She originally planned to wait until I was asleep to have someone secretly pick her up. But she couldn't stand being here for even a single day. So she told them to come that afternoon. Now her plan was ruined, and her intention to abandon me was completely exposed. I sneered. Your little scheme... Did you really think I didn't know? With her plan exposed, she flew into a rage. She jumped up and pointed at me. It's all your fault, Xiaolia. If it weren't for you, I would be Mom and Dad's only daughter. It was you who stole their love from me. I rolled my eyes. Don't blame me for everything. As soon as I was brought back, they wanted to marry me off. How much better could they possibly treat you? I paused. Where's your satellite phone? At a time like this, shouldn't you call Mom and Dad to let them know you're safe? Lin Zihan was rendered speechless by my words. Reluctantly, she took out the phone and started dialing. She tried several times, but the call wouldn't go through. Then she started calling her friends. Without exception, no one answered. Her face instantly turned pale. How can this be? Everything was fine this afternoon. I snatched the satellite phone from her and started dialing. I called Aiken first. It didn't connect. Then I tried my other friends one by one. Still no connection. Finally, I tried dialing the emergency rescue number. The line was still busy. I threw the satellite phone back at her. Now she was completely panicked. She started to cry softly. No. The phone must be broken. Mom and Dad must be fine. They will definitely come and save me. I looked at this pampered girl who could only whimper. I was truly speechless. Even after the zombie outbreak, all she can think about is being a burden. Right now, survival is all that matters. But the supplies I asked Ling Chen to prepare haven't arrived yet. Could something have happened to him? My heart tightened. I decided to go back to the cabin first to take stock of our limited luggage. How long could it last? As I reached the cabin door, Lin Zihan blocked my way. This house was prepared for me. The bed should be mine to sleep in. A wave of anger rushed to my head. I shoved her hand away. Then I hope you have a good dream. Your Highness, that night I didn't plan on sleeping. With her watching my every move, I couldn't be at ease for a second. So I went to the lookout post by the sea to rest. Just as the sky began to lighten, a boat appeared on the horizon. It was moving very slowly. My heart tightened. Could it be Ling Chen? Just when I was losing hope, a yacht appeared on the sea. It was my boyfriend. The moment he jumped off the boat, I almost burst into tears. I practically threw myself into his arms. However, what surprised me even more, the boat's cabin was filled with supplies. Canned food, compressed biscuits, a tent, a medical kit. We were saved. We started to organize the supplies. At noon, Lin Zihan finally emerged sluggishly from the wooden cabin. When she saw the mountain of supplies on the beach, her eyes lit up. Now I can finally enjoy myself. In her dreams, Ling Chen brought these supplies here through great hardship. On what grounds does she get to reap the rewards? I pointed directly at the empty buckets and backpack on the ground. Ling Chen and I spent the whole morning moving supplies. If you want to live, you have to work. Gathering firewood and fetching fresh water is all on you. This afternoon, we need to hurry up and build a shelter. Based on my foresight from my previous life, there will be heavy rain in the coming week. We must build a sturdy warehouse on high ground. Ling Chen is extremely capable. Using the metal plates from the yacht and the wood from the island, we quickly built the basic structure of the warehouse. At dusk, Lin Zihan dragged her exhausted body back. She was filthy, with leaves in her hair. She was only carrying half a bucket of murky water and a pathetic amount of firewood. She complained aggrievedly. The mountain path is too hard to walk. My hands are all scratched up. I glanced at her half bucket of water and pitiful firewood, and told her the water wasn't enough. And neither was the firewood. For dinner tonight, you'll only get to gnaw on a compressed biscuit. Lin Zihan's eyes turned red, but she didn't dare to argue. For dinner, we used her pitiful amount of firewood and water to simply cook some instant noodles. Meanwhile, she sat to the side, eating a hard compressed biscuit. For the next few days, we improved our shelter. We built a simple resting area near the warehouse. It had a good view and was well hidden. Beside the shelter, we built a stove with a rain cover, and even diverted stream water to it. The barricades and traps around the shelter were also mostly complete, enough to handle a small zombie horde. The most surprising thing was Lin Zihan. She was actually quiet for a few days. She fetched water and gathered firewood every day. Although her efficiency was pathetic, at least she wasn't causing trouble. But when things are this abnormal, something is wrong. Late one night, a noise came from the direction of the warehouse. Ling Chen and I woke up at almost the same time and rushed out. In the moonlight, Lin Zihan had been tripped by a trap and was on the ground. Instant noodles and beef jerky were scattered around her. I raised my wooden club and pointed it at her, questioning why she was stealing things in the middle of the night. Lin Zihan scrambled up from the ground in a panic and started to cry. I want to leave. I want to go back. My dad is so powerful. He can definitely protect me. I don't want to live this primitive life anymore. I tightened my grip on the club, but I didn't swing it. She was just a pathetic creature. I said, "You can leave if you want, but don't touch our supplies." Lin Zihan suddenly pointed at the warehouse and roared. "Weren't these supplies bought with my money? I gave you a card before. This must have been bought with my money. Give it back to me." I looked at her with contempt, like she was a clown. "Lin Zihan, right now we have weapons and supplies. You have nothing. Who do you think is in charge here?" Her face turned pale, and her body trembled. I pointed to the dark forest. "If you want to leave, find your own fuel and take a boat out to sea. If you dare steal our things again, we'll deal with you every time we see you." Lin Zihan was shaking with anger. She gave me a resentful glare, turned and left. "You just wait, I'll be back." Watching her stumble away into the distance, I actually felt relieved. Without Lin Zihan as an eyesore, Ling Chun and I actually had a more pleasant time. It didn't feel like the apocalypse, but more like a honeymoon. Until that private jet crashed, shattering the peace. The sound was deafening. The entire island trembled. We packed our gear, and armed with weapons, crept towards the crash site. In the wreckage of the cabin were several charred zombies, still strapped to their seats by their seatbelts. Suddenly, Ling Chun found something behind the cockpit. He pulled with all his might, and actually dragged out a military-grade waterproof safe. The outside of the box was burnt black, but the structure was intact. Back at the shelter, Ling Chun struggled to pry open the safe. Inside were neatly placed photos, documents, and a thick diary. The handwriting on the last page of the diary was twisted with fear. They are not a rescue team. They took all my food. This was left by the wealthy businessman in the photo. He had survived the initial outbreak thanks to a house full of supplies. Until half a month ago, a team found him. I put down the diary. Ling Chun was spreading out a sea chart. On the chart, the island we were on was heavily circled in bright red ink. Beside it was a line of cold, small text. Site A. Ample water supply. Inspect after clearing. Clearing. A terrible thought exploded in my mind. We weren't survivors. In their eyes, we were just things that needed to be cleared. Just then, the door was kicked open. Lin Zihan, who had been missing for days, burst in, holding a satellite phone high in the air. Overjoyed, I contacted my father and a rescue team. They're sending a boat to pick me up right away. A rescue team. My heart sank to the bottom. Sure enough, what she said next completely confirmed my suspicions. The team my father is with is searching various islands to establish the safest permanent base. I understood. The base they had chosen was here. Ling Chun and I exchanged a look. Without another word, we sprang into action. We went to the warehouse to get food, medicine, and fuel. We worked like madmen, loading everything onto the yacht. I took one last look at Lin Zihan. She was clutching that satellite phone like a precious treasure. I asked, "Are you coming with us?" It's not safe to wait for rescue here. The way she looked at us was as if we were two idiots. Leave? Why would I drift at sea with you? My father's fleet will be here any minute. I didn't say another word. You can't reason with someone that stubborn. The yacht started and pulled away from the dock. Ling Chun pushed the throttle to the maximum and told me to look ahead. Sure enough, a black dot appeared on the horizon, speeding towards the island. I raised my binoculars, but that wasn't the rescue team she was talking about at all. On the deck in the cockpit, it was densely packed, with snarling, contorted faces. It was a ship overrun by the infected. Ling Chun saw it too. His face turned pale. He floored the accelerator. Our yacht shot forward like an untamed horse, fleeing desperately into the unknown darkness. We escaped to an uninhabited island that wasn't on any map. I thought it might be safer on any map because it was more primitive. Maybe it would be safer. But I never expected this island to be a true nightmare. After several days, Ling Chun and I started to run out of food. We decided to go deeper into the island to find something to eat. And in the center of the island, we actually discovered a patch of abandoned buildings covered in vines. It was a secret experimental facility. We gathered our courage and snuck inside. In the central control room, we found a sealed document. After reading its contents, we felt as if we had fallen into an icy pit. This place was the true origin of the zombie outbreak. What made our hearts pound even faster was, in a safe in the corner of the room, there was a row of vials glowing with a faint blue light. There was only one word on the label: vaccine. It's the vaccine. We actually found the vaccine. My hand trembled as I reached for one of them. But the moment my fingertips touched the vial, the entire facility's alarm blared. The piercing siren tore through the silence. Red lights on the walls flashed frantically. We had triggered the security system. A loud rumbling came from above. The main door we came through was slowly being sealed by a massive metal blast door. Our escape route was completely cut off. And then holes opened up in the metal walls around us. Countless twisted arms reached out, snarling and struggling. pouring out from the underground hibernation pods, were the original test subjects. "Run!" Ling Chun roared. He grabbed me and rushed out. But there were too many test subjects. They blocked all the exits from every direction. In the chaos, an incredibly fast monster pounced on me from the side. I instinctively raised my arm to block it. With a crack, I was bitten. My vision began to blur. The ceiling was spinning. I saw Ling Chun's face grow large before my eyes. His eyes were terrifyingly red. Warm liquid dripped onto my face. It was his tears. I wanted to tell him not to cry, but the muscles in my face wouldn't obey. I used my last ounce of strength to push him. "Ling Chun, you have to run! Don't worry about me. Go!" But he held me tightly, crying and roaring back. "No! I won't leave you." My vision went completely black. Just in the final second before my consciousness faded into darkness, I thought I heard the tightly sealed metal door make a loud bang. When I opened my eyes again, I was staring at an unfamiliar ceiling. I survived. I instinctively touched my arm. The mangled wound on my arm was now just a line of stitches. Ling Chun was lying on the hospital bed next to me. We were both on 4 drips. The door opened, and a doctor in a white coat walked in, along with a fully armed captain. It turned out the alarm we triggered had become our own distress signal. They had located the experimental facility. The doctor said it was that vial of vaccine that had saved us. After we recovered, Ling Chun and I walked out onto the ship's deck. Seeing the bustling crowd of people, we looked at each other and smiled. From now on, he and I will use our own strength to rebuild our home.